What's up, everyone? Good morning. So today I'm gonna do something I haven't done in a long time. Be a first time this year, actually. Certainly a first on the channel, but I'm gonna go hit some golf balls. I have a golf trip coming up in July where some buddies and I are headed up to the Oregon coast to Bandon Dunes for a few days. And I need to try and get out at least a few times by then, so that it's not a total show. So I got my coffee, ready to go. Let's head out. It has been a long time since my clubs have seen any love, so hopefully they're kind to me today. Parent tip. This might not look like much, but this has been a lifesaver many times with the kids when we're on the road. The OXO travel potty. Little toilet that folds up and has single-use liners. So again, if any of you who have little kids and are on the road a lot, get one of these. Not gonna lie, grown-ups have used it too, in our case. So the place where I practice, or I guess used to practice, it's only 5 minutes from home. So it's super convenient. And when I was golfing a lot, and this was really kind of at the height of my depression, where golf was my escape or my addiction. During that time, I would be either practicing or playing 5 times a week, probably, typically 4 to 5 times a week at least. And this practice spot truly was my escape. I would come here, 2-3 afternoons each week before I picked the kids up, for an hour or two. It was just where I could quiet my brain and focus on golf. The thing about golf, which I only realized once I became really hooked on it, was that unlike rowing, or any endurance sports for that matter, there is no linear path to improvement in golf, right? At least with rowing, you can build a training plan like the one I'm on. And as long as you are consistent in sticking to the plan and taking care of your body, right, and not being injured, etc., you will see progress. Now, the progress might be slow at times, but you nonetheless will see progress. Golf, on the other hand, you can put in hours and hours practicing, playing, and actually get worse. Feel like you're getting worse. Generally, that's going to be because you're practicing the wrong things. Golf is also a sport where, especially if you didn't grow up playing it, picked it up later in life like I did, you really need regular lessons. Somewhat regularly you'd be going to see a teaching pro, or someone would be able to come out and actually watch you play. Now, that gets very, very expensive. So most people, myself included, never took regular lessons, certainly not over any extended period of time. And so the result is you end up with a bit of a homegrown golf swing, build in lots of bad habits, and those become really hard to undo. So golf became very frustrating to me for those reasons, right? Where I just felt like I was putting in a lot of time. I did get decently good. I was able to shoot in the 70s. Not frequently, but on a good day I could shoot in the 70s. Hi, good morning. I'm going to the driving range.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Anyhow, it got to a point in my golf game where I just, short of going and taking lessons weekly, which I just wasn't willing to commit to financially, I just didn't know what else I could do to improve my game. You can go out and play great one day, you can go out the next time and just completely shit bed and really have no idea of why, which again, different from rowing. Some days, of course, you're not going to have it, but generally you kind of know why. You can at least put your finger on something. Golf's not like that, but anyways, we're here. So this place I practice is very nondescript, as you can see. It's just a parking lot in the middle of the county fairgrounds here. Very unassuming. Technically not actually open to the public. Alright, a little snafu at the gate. Keypad wasn't working, I had to actually use my tripod to reach over the gate and open the door. But anyways, we made it. Actually standing right next to a little short game practice area. There is a putting green right there, and in the distance you can see a couple guys over there over at the the range stalls. So it's all grass here, we don't hit off any mats. And it's always very quiet here, which is one thing I love about this place. It, at most, you'll maybe see 6 to 8 people here at any given time. Yeah, very zen-like. Starting to get warmed up, just a little short game stuff. We'll see what happens today. So as I mentioned earlier, I think one of the things that I and probably most other people that love golf love about it is that every once in a while you'll hit that shot that maybe loosely resembles a shot you would see a pro hit on TV, and that makes you think, oh, okay, I could do that. If I can do it one time, well, I must be able to do it every time then, right? Couldn't be further from the truth. And it's only when you really start to play golf and you really get into it and you understand how difficult it is that you can really appreciate how good the pros are. It's probably a bit like rowing too in that way, where to the untrained eye, if you watch rowers at the Olympics, pretty much the only place it's ever really televised, you might think, wow, that looks smooth, looks calm, doesn't look that hard. How hard can it be? And once you start rowing, hop in a boat, or you jump on the erg, then you realize, holy crap, this is nowhere as easy as it looks. Now, it's probably true for most sports, but I think especially with golf too, a lot of people think it is unathletic or doesn't require a lot of athleticism, which, yeah, maybe if you define athleticism the way endurance athletes would, that's true. But in terms of hand-eye coordination, you need a lot of hand-eye coordination. And I would say probably more so than anything else, mental toughness in golf. There's a saying, and I don't remember who said it, but majority of your golf game is played in the 6 inches in between your ears. It's very hard to stay mentally locked in for 3.5, 4.5 hours that it takes to play an 18-hole round of golf. So that's where good golfers are really able to separate themselves. I'm just coming out today, just trying to hit a whole bunch of different shots. I'm not really gonna practice anything per se, or work on any, work on any drills. It's just to try and get used to feeling a golf club in my hands again. So far, I have to say, at least as far as my chipping goes, not bad. Usually I think that when you have a layoff from golf, the first thing that goes is your touch around the greens, that feel that you need when it comes to putting and chipping. So there we just hit some little chip shots from maybe 5 yards off the green up to this black back flag over here. I had low expectations, but I'll take this kind of dispersion any day. I'm gonna go take some full swings. I'll turn the camera off just because there are other people over there. I don't want to be distracting them. Oh, just kidding. Right as soon as I came over here, the guys who were here left, so I have it all to myself now. But as you can see, anyways, hit off grass, which is great. Hitting off range mats. Not only does it not replicate the conditions you'll find when you're actually playing, but it's really hard on your wrists. It can lead to tendonitis, a bunch of other stuff you don't want. So anyways, I'm gonna take some full swings. I took a couple already. About as ugly as I was expecting it to be. Kind of not really coming here to practice, more just see what I'm going to be working with going into this Bandon trip in July. Hitting 58-degree wedge. Admittedly, not my strong suit. Now we go down to a 54. There it is. Also makes this game so tough is that you can have a million thoughts running through your head as you're standing over the ball, which is not helpful. Again, I'm sort of contrasting everything with rowing as I'm thinking about golf, but you know, with rowing, like, at least I find it's not usually too much running through my head before I start a workout. During the workout, yeah, you might have a few different things, you know, you're playing mental games to get through the workout, but you know, with golf you could be thinking about 15 different things, right? Am I standing too far from the ball? Is my ball too far forward or back in my stance? Are my shoulders lined up right? What am I going to do on the backswing? How open or closed should the club face be, right? You can be thinking about all these things at the same time, which just is a recipe for a messy golf swing. So we've worked our way through most of the bag. I don't hit every single club, but usually I'll hit every other club. So now we're down to getting to the tougher clubs to hit. 4-iron here, which hitting balls has reminded me that the rowing motion really, your whole body, all your muscles are really only moving in one plane. You're moving entirely in the sagittal plane. So if you think about it, your legs, back, glutes, your hip complex, your arms, everything is just moving in the same direction, back and forth, or the same plane, back and forth. Golf, on the other hand, is all about rotation, right? And being able to rotate around your spine. So I'm probably using a lot of my muscles in ways they haven't felt in a couple months. So definitely takes a little more getting used to. Now, I warned you guys at the beginning, I have a golf swing that truly only a mother could love. But there's a reason the game is called golf and not golf swing, right? No matter what your swing looks like or how you hit the ball, it's all about getting it in the hole in as few strokes as possible. So swing your swing. Putting. Part of the game that most people don't practice enough. Well, that and I guess short game all around. But in reality, if you want to become a better golfer, this is the stuff you got to practice. You know, I have to say, it was nice. I mean, it was fun to get out and see that my game is not completely in shambles. I think I could go out and play a half decent round right now if I had to, but it wasn't really any part of me that felt like, oh yeah, I want to get back here. I want to practice more. And, you know, that could be because obviously I'm heavily invested in rowing right now, and that's going well, and just don't really have any interest in, nor do I have the time to really invest in any other hobby at this point. But I think what I also learned from those couple of years when I was really depressed and was playing a lot of golf, in hindsight, what I realized was playing golf that frequently, it just didn't really bring me a lot of joy. And I think part of that was because, as I mentioned earlier, I didn't see consistent progress, which was really frustrating. But more importantly, I wasn't actually getting any real intense exercise during that time, right? I was golfing, which involves a lot of walking, and I would always walk. I would never use a golf cart if I could avoid it, but that just wasn't enough. And I think I really need intense, regular cardio to, I guess, get the right mix of brain chemicals or whatever it is I need to be happy. So I wasn't getting that for a couple of years, on top of just being depressed anyways. It was nice to be relatively good at golf and be able to shoot low scores, but that's not really what brought me any real satisfaction looking back on it. You know, what I'm actually most excited about in getting back out on the golf course is just hanging out with my buddies, and this Bandon Dunes trip coming up in July. Probably the most excited I've been for one. Not because I think I'm going to play good golf, but I think it's probably a little escape that the four of us will all need. So, really pumped about that. So we'll see. I might get a couple more practice sessions in, and hopefully at least a couple rounds, a couple 18-hole rounds under my belt before July. But look at that, already home. So it is really nice to have that facility just around the corner. All right, well, I can hear the kids screaming inside, so better get back in there. But until next time, take care of yourselves. Keep chasing.